Do 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 do. Good morning, subscribers. I got a feeling that it's gonna be a great vid with tons of laughs and tons of fun. You'll never have a bad time watching Z-Man. Do 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 do. Oh boy, it's well to say. This guy really sucks. Do 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 do. Good morning, subscribers. Wow, that was improv, and wow, you could tell I was trying to search for a Bimmy. Oh my god. Oh. Regardless, or irregardless, referencing one of the episodes already. American Dad Season 2. Well, I really like Season 1 of American Dad. Hell, quite bluntly, I love American Dad. It's up there as one of my favorite shows of all time, so yeah, you know it's going to be a positive review. Well, Season 1 was pretty good, though, and honestly, for a first season, leaves a lot for Season 2 to try to continue. Because usually it's easy for Season 2s to be better than Season 1s, but when you got a season like American Dad with such a good Season 1, how will Season 2 compare? Well, we'll just have to find out. 1. Camp Refugi. Stan, Steve, and Haley spend their summer at a refugee camp. Don't know why I started there. Meanwhile, Roger and Francine pretend to be a couple. Already swinging out the gate. This is a 5 out of 5. I love Camp Refugi. It's such a great episode. Both plots are really fun, which makes it a little hard to decide which one I like more. The Stan plot is just classic Stan, wanting Steve to go to a camp and then deciding, hey fam, what if we just turn this refugee camp into a summer camp? It's classic Stan material, and it's really fun the whole way through. Stan is such a racist asshole, but then again, that's like his character. There's a difference between a character being an asshole, being a funny asshole, and I think Stan, and especially Roger as the show goes on, Roger more so later on, really become just really freaking funny assholes. Actually, or maybe not later on, because Roger's plot's great too. With him and Francine pretending to be a couple and stands out. It's really funny seeing them try to make up a backstory. It's really where you could tell the writers are starting to love just giving Roger like random personas and all that. Even Francine plays along with this one. The scene of Roger being like, "Tell them how you murdered our baby, Amanda." That's such a great Roger moment because bro was just asking to get his ass kicked by Francine at that point. So yeah, the Stan plot's good. Steve also like proves himself a little bit, and Roger and Francine get a really great B plot. All around, just top tier first episode. Already better than like a lot of season 1. 2. American Dad After School Special. Stan sees Steve's plus-sized girlfriend and questions his own weight. It's the fat episode of American Dad. Is it good? Yeah, it's a 4 out of 5. I like this episode. It's nothing groundbreaking. Well, actually, is it? Because it does actually tackle the topic of people over plus-sized people. I mean, Debbie is more than her weight. I mean, it's American Dad, so obviously going to joke a little bit about her weight, but like beyond all that, Debbie's a really nice girl. It makes it really sad seeing when Steve and her break up and all that. So you really care about the relationship, because Debbie is kind of just this goth girl. So obviously Steve's all in love with her, and he's like ooga ooga. So it's just a whole thing. But then you got Stan, who, classic Stan, just can't accept the fact that Debbie's different. So it has to be like, oh, is this fact we're going to lose to Debbie? Oh, she's going to have a map to Debbie. And not just accepting that, bro. Who cares about weight, honestly? Weight is just... I know people can, like, fall in love with, like, muscular people, but if someone genuinely loves someone, even though they're, like, chubby, then who cares, bro? Hell, I'm fat, so obviously I'm a fat guy who's wearing a shirt making fun of extroverted people. Large group of people is called no thanks, bro. I spent today watching 12 of these 19 episodes for this video, and yes, that makes me a loser. God, I have no life. But yeah, once it turns into Stan questioning his own weight and all that, it gets really good. Seeing him just, and all I'm gonna say is that the reveal they do about Stan's weight is freaking genius. Chef's kiss, beautifully done. Now, I'm not giving this a 5 or anything because, admittedly, it's not the funniest episode. And Roger crushing on Debbie, it was a little weird, but overall, I still do really like this episode. And it still definitely deserves to be tackled. By tackled, I mean watched. Why the fuck did I say tackled? That was stupid of me. And you know what? Stan gets this imaginary instructor called Zach, and I'm pretty sure they call him the Z-Man at one point. Z-Man and America Dad confirmed. Oh, hindsight 2026. 3. Failure is not a factory-installed option. Stan's interrogation skills are put into question when he meets a car salesman. Meanwhile, Steve and the guys pretend to have a drive-in. Yeah, this one's top tier, 5 out of 5. Best of the whole show so far. I absolutely love this episode. Again, third time I'm saying it now. Triple the alert, but like, yeah, classic Stan over here. Gonna try to stop saying that for the rest of the season, but it might be tough. Seeing him just get scammed again and again by this car salesman is really funny to me, especially since they really try to set up at the beginning how good he is at this type of thing. And the way Stan slowly just crumbles and just leaves the family to fend it for themselves is honestly so sad. I feel so bad for the family here. It's the Steve B plot's also funny. The only problem I have with it is the obvious contradiction. Him and Debbie stayed dating by the end of last episode. So why all of a sudden is Steve and Debbie just separated? Like it's not even mentioned at all. It's a little weird. I almost feel like this one was meant to be aired before last episode, but for whatever reason, that one was before this one. It's a really funny B plot when you ignore that fact, and overall, it's just a very amazing episode. Again, like last time, I'm not going to try to spoil much, but Stan's reveal at the end, I'll put this at number 1 on my list. It proved to me that this is truly the best episode of the whole show so far. It is amazing. 4. Lincoln Lover. Stan's plan of making Steve Republican ends up letting him into a gay Republican group. 4 out of 5. I'm sorry I don't have much to say on this episode, but it is an episode about the LGBTQIA plus community, so unfortunately, I am not the best person to tackle this as I am a straight man. So all I'll say as a straight guy's perspective is that I thought it was a funny episode. I liked it. I think they handled the topic really well, and seeing Stan realize that being gay, no shit, is not a choice and all that. It's very nice. Again, Stan is a douche, but he eventually learns his lesson, which is a basic setup for the show. But hey, it's basic for a reason. They really know how to use it in new, effective ways. Bimmy, what do you think of Lincoln Lover, the whole shebang? Why are you asking me? I'm also straight. Oh, you sure you're not gay? How's that supposed to mean? I'm saying you give off signs, Bimmy. Like what? Maybe because my hand's up your ass. We talked about this in the last live stream. My hand is literally up your ass. Does that make you gay? No, I'm not. Oh my god, guys. Hindsight 2026, Z-Man's queer. No, I'm not. I am not gay. It's okay if you are, but I am not. I'm attracted to women only. You get +1 point if you know the reference. 5. Dungeons and Wagons. When Francine wants more excitement in her life, Stan decides a street race. Meanwhile, Jeff joins Steve's fantasy group. It's another 5 out of 5. honestly on the lower end of a 5, but still a great episode. As someone who's never seen Fast and Furious, I think that whole part of the episode was handled extremely well. What do I say? It's just really funny. I love how seeing Francine and Stan skin on this wild side is really nice, especially Stan. Stan's so type edge and like strict that seeing him do something like this is very interesting. It's not out of character because they clearly establish why he's doing it, so it doesn't come off out of like left field or anything. So it's very good, very nice. So, and the B plot reminds me of South Park's Warcraft episode, except this was before that. So really, South Park should have been all like, American Dad did it, American Dad did it. But not for real. It's a really good episode. It's a really good B plot. Admittedly, though, Haley, come on, Haley. Jeff breaks up with you. Break up with Jeff, and then you try to get back with Jeff, and then when the end, when Jeff wants to accept you again, you're all like, "I met this guy at the bar. Things just happened." Fucking Haley, you suck, Haley. Except you're a fine enough American Dad character, so never mind on that. But still, Roger X Black. That's how you know it's a 5 out of 5 episode. Six. Iced babies. Ooh. When Francine sees Steve growing up, she tries getting another child. Meanwhile, Roger teaches at Haley's college. This is a pretty good episode over here. It's a 4 out of 5. The Francine plot was surprisingly not creepy. Like, you'd expect it to be creepy given the premise, but no. I think it's because it's honestly just the jokes. It is a very funny episode. It absolutely makes up for it. So yeah, pretty much. It's a good example of just maybe the story's not the best, but the jokes are really good. And plus, it has an amazing B plot, and that helps it. Sorry, I'm just checking something. I'm sorry that I'm looking down. The Roger B plot's peak. Roger acting like he's doing what he's doing as a professor is really funny. And how it spirals with him and Haley and like the guy Ethan, I think his name was. Very funny stuff. Of course, Roger trying to get himself out of there, and then Haley's able to just turn the tables. It's all very, very good. One of those I don't. I This makes me glad I rewatch episodes because I thought there was gonna be like a 3 or something going in, but nah, it's a pretty good episode. Definitely a 4 out of 5 for sure. Oh yeah, by the way, just to clarify, Debbie is I guess back with Steve in this episode, but then they break up again. So what's the deal with this Debbie lady? We don't know. IDK. 7 of Ice and Men. Francine discovers that Stan figure skates and decides to enter them in a competition. Meanwhile, Steve and friends get a mail order bride. Heh heh. 3 out of 5. Okay, where to begin? This is one I have very few thoughts on because it's not really that. It's pretty mid tier. Stan figure skating was not that funny in my opinion. Felt too random almost. American Dad really exceeds in like random funny humor. Like this is the show that knows how to do random humor, but for this episode it was like okay. But then it doesn't want to tell Francine it, and then like he doesn't want to get competitive with it, and it's like it almost felt like the blueprint of an American Dad episode, but like they didn't really do much that's exciting with it, so it comes off as just kind of there. Roger, like in a lot of the show, doesn't being the highlight here. I do like him trying to get wigs and all that. So it ends up being a huge bitch to everyone. That's some funny Roger material, but the Stan side of things was kind of sweet, but still not anything too special. And then the B plot with Steve was super nothing burger. It's just Steve and his friends ogling over over a mail order bride, but honestly, bro, Beavis and Butthead did it funnier. I'm sorry, twin. At least in that one, Butthead was actually married to the bride, and she actually like fought back or some shit. But in this one, just Haley telling her what to do. Well, I guess Toshi learning a new language for her was kind of funny. So I guess it was that. 8. Regarding Steve. That's why I said that earlier. Steve and Roger go to New York thinking they're super smart. Meanwhile, a squirrel family stays in the treehouse. So good episode, 4 out of 5. Steve and Roger pretty much talking Steve into going to New York was funny. Seeing them both just suck at it is really good. Honestly, this episode's just a good reason why I don't really ever want to go to a big city like that unless I like absolutely needed to for like my work or something. Because in those types of places, you can either do super well or you can end up like these two and just like completely suck at it, and at that point you're all homeless and crap. Very high maintenance, and I'm not the type of person, so I would not do well. The Squirrel Plot was also pretty funny. It parodies some movie I'd never even seen, but you could tell it's a good parody because even though I don't really know what the source material really is, it still works on its own. So overall, it's a good episode, and seeing Steve accept Stan is pretty nice and shows how you can really care for someone even if they're not always the brightest. And what are you doing? Oh yeah, I know what that is because this guy's a real dummy, and I got to really teach him everything. Bimmy, I taught you to stop eating every orange thing in the house literally yesterday. No, you didn't. He's lying, guys. I'm literally not lying, Bimmy. That's literally what happened. Go run. Oh, yeah, now you go when I'm winning the argument. Okay, Bimmy. That's fair. Gee whiz. Me and my roommate. Oh, wait, there's no music in these videos. Crap. 9. Best Christmas story never told. When the ghost of Christmas past extended to the 80s, bad things happen. Bad things happen in the bathroom. I'm just glad that it happened near a vacuum. I know it's Bob's Burgers, but hey, whenever I think of that term, bad things happen, I just think of that song. I also really think of this episode. It's a 5 out of 5. I love this one. Okay, backstory time. Back in last December, that was by that point I got super into American Dad, so I wanted to watch all of the Christmas episodes. I I think I only missed like a few of the newest ones, but like that's a modern American Dad. We can get to that later. And I remember watching this one after not seeing it in a long time, and God, I was blown away by it. And all these months later in June, yeah, I can agree. This episode's awesome. I really love this episode. Easily one of the best of the whole show so far. It is one of the most ingenious Christmas slash time travel episodes I think I've ever seen in a show, bro. The way it takes the very good, but in my opinion, kind of overdone Christmas Carol story, and just making it into all of this is super duper clever to me. Seeing what changes, what happens, what causes what to happen in the present time. It's very good. I know time travel stories are also kind of overdone, but I think this one did it good, so who cares? I guess it's not really much of a B plot, but just seeing Roger in the past was also super fun. This episode is actually very important to the American Dad lore because this is where it's revealed that Roger crashed into Roswell and pretty much has been on Earth for decades before meeting the Smiths. So, which I think is a really good piece of lore to add to him. Pretty much means when you do a backstory type thing, you can kind of just have Roger there, which is good because like Roger's peak fiction, so you gotta have Roger there, bro. Overall, amazing episode. Love this one. The Ghost of Christmas Past was super duper funny. Like they didn't need to make her funny, but like they really did. She had a lot of the good lines. No, you couldn't. If the mom loses the child at the mall, do you blame the mom? No, you don't. You blame the child. She didn't say blame the child, but like she should have. They should really just make me a writer for American Dad at this point, bro. 10. Bush comes to dinner. George Bush meets the Smith family. Meanwhile, Steve and Roger think they found Osama bin Laden. Okay, this is a very political episode, and if you don't know by now, I really could not care less about politics. Not that well, actually, no, I kind of do hate politics. So you think I hate this episode, but 4 out of 5. I think what makes this one a good political episode, political, is that it feels like they don't. Is that it feels like they aren't trying too hard to really take a side. Both Stan and Haley are both kind of presented their arguments and all that. You got him to Bush. It gets hard to really. It doesn't feel like they really try to shove opinions down your throat, which is really why I hate politics a lot of the time. So, them avoiding that in this episode was very good, in my opinion. Steve and Roger B. Plot was also pretty funny, seeing them just trying to make some money off of this dumb conspiracy. Shows how people just always over can, especially if it's only grown now with the internet and all that. People overly theorizing about random crap and all that. So it's very well made, a very good B plot. I don't have a lot to say. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but it is a good episode. Bush they didn't make too stupid or but also not like too lovable. They kept it all balanced, which I think really helped make it work as and not make me just roll my eyes, being like, "Oh my god, we get it. You know your political stance now." They didn't do that here, and that's very good in my opinion because that means that actually gives me a reason to go back to this one. Break time. 10 episodes in, 9 episodes left. So yeah. This is the part of the video you can skip if you're like watching it on a rerun, so nothing like a good old root beer. Alrighty, now that you've skipped to this part on the rerun, let's get back to more American Dad. 11. American Dream Factory. Stan gets a bunch of illegals to help make bears. Plush bears, to be precise. Meanwhile, Roger takes over. I wrote Stev in the Google Doc. Oh my god. Roger takes over Steve's band. I know it doesn't matter, but it matters to me, okay? Anyway, the episode about illegals in my yard. I tried to stop them. Gets a 4 out of 5. It's a good little episode. It's one of those where I can see nowadays people being like, "Oh man, this is too much, bro." But back then, in that 2000s climate, I think makes more sense to have as an episode. And again, as a white person, I thought it was funny. I thought it was well written. It was amusing. Wasn't anything, not one of the best episodes or anything. Again, Haley being just a hypocrite was kind of annoying. It very much got on my nerves, but the Steve B plot was very funny. Krispy Kreme McDonald's is an underrated Roger persona. I love how his whole idea is just to cover public domain songs. That was very funny to me. And the Stan plot was also pretty good. Admittedly, him making plushy bears is a little strange, but it just gives them something to make, I guess. So I think it all works well. A message works well for me. Good episode. Well, Bimmy, time for you to comment on this one. Why me? Well, I mean, it's about illegals, immigrants, so. Dude, I'm a bunny, not even a person. Well, you're still like, I'm what, Z-Man? I'm what? So are we gonna make out or? Heh, no, he's totally gay, guys. Now, there's anything wrong with that, I'm very accepting. Go. 80, the abusive terrestrial. When Steve loses interest, Roger hangs out with a little boy. Not like that. Meanwhile, Stan and Francine try to save Mr. Pibb. 4 out of 5. Okay, gonna be quite blunt. The Stan Francine Pibb plotline was kind of just nothing burger to me. Didn't make the episode worse, but I'm not gonna be like, oh man, I can't wait to watch the Mr. Pibb episode again. I've never even had a Mr. Pibb. I've never even seen one in a store, bro. Chat, is Mr. Pibb good? Let me know in the comments, chat. I need to know this. The real reason I like this one is the Roger plotline. Him and Steve have I feel like they've slowly been growing a friendship across the show. So I like how they have an episode that kind of just acknowledges it more and shows that yeah, Steve and Roger are real buds. They may not be as iconic as say Brian and Stewie, but they're still there. Maybe because if Roger wasn't such like a psychopath, then maybe like maybe Steve and Roger could be even closer. But yeah, it's a good episode. It's weird because usually this is a trope I really hate. Seeing a character just abuse the shit out of another character really sucks to me. I really don't like that usually, but no. Maybe it's because it's a little boy doing it to talking a jackass alien. I don't know. Maybe something about that makes it funny to me. It makes it look like one of those rare exceptions to this plotline I generally dislike. This is a good episode. The Nothing Burger Mr. Pibb episode kind of like doesn't make it as higher as it could have been, but I still like the Roger stuff enough to where it's still got a decent placement on the list overall. 13. Black History Month. Steve uncovers the mystery of the man who discovered peanut butter. Meanwhile, Roger and Haley play Jenga. 5 out of 5. This is one I'm going to be brief on, not because I don't like it. Again, I give it the max rating. But because, again, there's not a lot to say without. This is one of those that speaks for themselves. This truly is a speak for itself kind of episode, which makes it difficult for me to add any real commentary here. The mystery is very intriguing, very interesting. I like how they unraveled the whole mystery based on this one dude who invented peanut butter. Or did he? That's for you to find out. Heh heh. Alright. Wrong show, I know, but who's checking? Bimmy don't check. B plot with Roger and Haley playing Jenga was funny. Seeing Roger just being his usual douche self, just play the damn game. I'm not even that good at Jenga, and even I'm just like, bro, at some point, just get past it and just play the game, bro. It's not deep, bro. It's not some complex thing. So yeah, overall, I love this episode. Very top tier. 14. Apocalypse to Remember. Stan believes the world is ending, so he takes him and his family to the forest. Meanwhile, Roger tries marrying so he can get a blender. Man, this one was a 3. This one got on my nerves, bro. Stan is almost too annoying here. I know being a jerk is like literally his whole point as a character, but like, I'm sorry. He got way too much in this episode, bro. He just wanted everyone in the family to think that he was like Mr. Awesome over here, like Mr. Hero. And it got so annoying. It wouldn't anger me so much if Stan just didn't know the apocalypse wasn't happening. But since he does, you're just waiting for the rest of the family to find out. So it's not funny. It just makes me not want to watch the episode because Stan's being a little bitch. Being like, oh man, they think I'm the doof. What was the stupid nickname they called him? The boob? Was it the boob? I think it was. Yeah, the boob strikes again or some shit like that. And honestly, kind of fair on the family because Stan, even well past throughout the whole show, Stan's been nothing but a total boob to the family, so it fits. The Roger B plot I think is like slightly better, but maybe that's because I just love Roger so much as a character. So even when Roger's not his best, Roger is usually still peak. So him pretending to be Jewish was okay, I guess. The lady was very annoying, but she was on screen long enough to really make it too much of an issue. Well, still easily worst of the season so far. One of the worst of the whole show so far, honestly. This one was definitely lower on the end of a 3, yo. 15. Four little words. I told you so. Stan helps Bullock with dating and then with covering things up. Meanwhile, Roger becomes Kevin Bacon. Because that's just a thing you do, apparently. You become Kevin Bacon. Good episode, this one. Pretty good one. Stan having to help out Bullock was funny. Bullock just, killing Francine's friend. So Stan having to cover it up. I feel so bad for Francine in this episode, honestly. She goes through so much shit for no reason. It's funny, but at the same point, I'm waiting for Francine to be like, Stan, I'm divorcing, bro. You can't make me think you can't frame me for a murder, Stan. That's where like you draw the line. You take your big girl panties on and just be like, Stan, it's not fam. Mm-mm. But yeah, it's a good episode. Again, Stan. I know I literally said last episode that Stan was being too much, but this is more the Stan I want because like this is jackass Stan, but like in a good way, like in a funny way that's in character. Not just him knowing that the apocalypse not going to happen, but still just being a dick to his family. What was the B plot here again? I'm sorry, I sound so stupid right now, but Kevin Bacon B plot was pretty funny as well. Roger impersonating Kevin Bacon. I don't know who the hell Kevin Bacon is, but I don't care because it's a funny B plot. Seeing Roger just use the power. And you gotta love how Roger pretends to make up with Stephen Haley just because he did a bad thing. We'll see more of that later on with Roger's character, where he'll just like fake something just to get out of the fact that Roger did some like real shit, bro. Well, that's just to that alien B twin. But yeah, overall, this is a very good episode. The ending with Francine in like India was a little iffy. A little like, did we really need to go there? Almost felt too extreme. But I guess Bullock got a son who we'll see like one other time in the show, so I guess it was worth it. 16. When Stan loves a woman. When Stan knows he wasn't Francine's first, they agree to divorce so Stan can see sex as meaningless. Meanwhile, Steve gets hooked on energy drinks. This one is a 5 out of 5. One of the funniest American Dad episodes so far. I love this one. Okay, so side note, I'm kind of on Stan's side here to just start things off. I know sex is just, man and a woman shaboinking, but like, come on. Certified virgin over here. I would want the woman I'm with to also not be experienced, just because it's so primal and natural. I know, but like just sharing the experience of the woman I love honestly sounds nice. Like I wouldn't wanna. It almost feel awkward if we broke up and then I'd do it again with someone else because like, bro, I already shaboinked this other girl. I don't want to make you also share. I don't want to give you the unfortunateness of not being like my first, bro. That is to say, I totally see Stan's point on this episode. Francine was being a W wife. Well, maybe not W, but like she was trying to help him out by like just letting him go out and experiment, but things got a little too much. And while Francine was definitely being a little bit of a bitch about it, like it was only your idea. Why are you getting mad at Stan for it? It's still very funny. Spoiler alert: Stan totally boned the new woman he dated, and even married. Don't even ask. But at least Stan knows sex is meaningless. And now Stan and Francine can go back to blinking each other. And Steve had a whole energy drink B plot that was pretty funny. Treating it like cracking some shit. It was pretty funny. Steve being all, oh man, you need your gas changed? You want these tickets? No, I got another person. Hey, steals off. Like it was so, Steve, what are you even doing, twin? Why are you selling energy drinks? Don't do that, bro. Well, don't even go there, sister. I already did that, didn't I? Earlier in the review. Damn. "17. I can't stand you." Okay, regardless of how I feel about the episode, that is a great title for an episode. Anyway, story is that Stan finds out the neighbors hate him and does whatever he can to prevent that. Meanwhile, Roger uses Steve to sue places. Good episode, this one. Stan just wanting the neighbors to like him makes sense. I mean, especially if you're living near them, you'd assume the people around you would like you, right? I don't know, bro. That's what I think. But Stan finds out the harsh lesson that everyone is a little bit of a bitch inside them, and they always just say things about each other. So Stan should just get over it. Roger B. plot was pretty funny as well. Roger, being the usual horrible person he is, totally just hurting Steve for his own selfish benefit. Very funny stuff. This is a good episode. Stan pulling a gun on a kid multiple times is just very funny. Nothing else matters. Just that. That was very funny. So funny. I might move on to the next episode. Yeah, you got intimidated. Just admit you're intimidated by the Z-Man. I'm so threatening. Okay, we can move on. 18, Magnificent Steven. Stan tries making Steve and his friends men. Meanwhile, Francine and Haley fight for Roger's attention. Good episode. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. I have nothing. So I'm sorry if my thoughts haven't always been the best for this season, but I watched through it. I watched through all of season 12, like 12, or all of season 2, and the final 12 episodes the same day. So that is to say, I like this one. Seeing Stan Stan being too manly man, Steve's too much of a pussy, so you gotta meet in the middle, but they do not, because I guess Steve goes back to his ways after this episode, but at least he saved his dad from the evil beef jerky. Doesn't make him insane, so that's all that matters. And Roger treats Haley and Francine like the objects that women are. Women don't watch these reviews, right? Because otherwise, man, I am single. That was a joke, by the way. I shouldn't need to say I was joking, but yeah, it was a joke. Season finale time. 19, joint custody. Stan and Roger try to save Jeff from his bad dad. Meanwhile, Steve thinks he's psychic. 5 out of 5 finale. Stan's turnaround from hating Jeff to loving Jeff was honestly very good. Roger being a good little comedic, giving episodes some comedic relief, but the Stan and Jeff thing is very good. Seeing more of Jeff, just seeing his character progress more, realizing more of his backstory. I'm kind of with Stan, makes it like the guy more, honestly. Bro goes through all that shit from his dad. Mom left before he was even born, which I guess you could do in the American Dad universe. Overall, just a great way to end the season. The Steve psychic beat plot was very short, but very funny. That's all I gotta say about that. That fireman, I really like chopping things. And in the end, Jeff made it. Roger floated, and the cop also had daddy issues, so he listened to the story. Very beautiful stuff. Chef's kiss. Okay, here's the list. The only 2 episodes to get below a 4 were Apocalypse to Remember and of Ice and Man. So now here come the 4 out of 5s. Bush Comes to Dinner, Regarding Steve, Magnificent Steven, American Dream Factory, Iced Babies, A.T., The Abusive Terrestrial, I Can't Stand You, American Dad After School Special, 4 Little Words, and Lincoln Lover. There were 7 5 out of 5s, but the 2 that missed out on being in the top 5 were Black History Month and Dungeons and Wagons. Now for the top 5. Camp Refugi, Joint Custody, When a Stan Loves a Woman, Best Christmas Story Never Told, and Failure's Not a Factory Installed Option. And that, folks, is American Dad Season 2 reviewed. Overall, just an amazing season of television, honestly. So many great and good episodes here. Only 2 that I thought were kind of just mid, and that's that. They were just mid. Not even bad. The writers are very competent at this point. They know what makes the show funny, and they're just rolling with it. Stan can just lie to his family, but by next episode they're all good. Very much playing with that episodic nature, and I love it. It's funny. Francine has boned a lot. That's her thing. Haley is very hypocritical, but at the end of the day, kind of knows what she's doing and kind of is in the right. Steve is a loser, and him and Roger have this whole bromance that's been properly established now. And Roger is just slowly growing more and more evil, and it's very funny to see. And no one likes Klaus. So did I even mention Klaus's name once in the whole video? I'm confident I didn't, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because I really don't like Klaus. Don't care if it's a hot take, but it's in my take. I'm gonna go get some sleep now. I hope you guys enjoy the review. If you have any questions, as per usual, just leave them in the comments, guys. No reason why you can't. I will see you next time.